There's grinding or drilling or whatever going on another floor.
Doesn't go on.
Hello, everybody. We are live.
I don't see us yet.
Because you're on a delay.
There I am. I am behind me.
Hello, Instagrammers.
Original art prints to clay CGCs is more about the late great Neal Adams. Is that what we're doing?
Pretty much. Did I miss anything?
I don't know. I think we're the only ones on. Oops.
Well, the Instagrammers are doing their popping on and off as they are wont to do.
There we go. Ford is.
Hey, Ford. Actually,
There
we
we
should show Ford my killer clowns at some point. I think Ford would appreciate the killer clowns. Do they qualify as critters? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if you saw this, Ford. Goodness, does it look that dark? I'm gonna have to check the Facebook. Hello, Bertman. Howdy.
Paul Hoffman is watching. So we're just waiting for the load up a little bit because we just came on. Jim Powell is watching. So we'll get started in a minute or two here. We're just loading up. Zia's showing a piece right now to Ford.
Okay, he saw it. Okay. Just checking. I thought it was up your alley. You might get a giggle.
All right. Where did you put this over your stuff?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Hello, PDDB 007.
007. Like that. Very cool. So tonight's going to be a little weird because we're probably, I don't know how many people are going to want to go watch the president say his words to us, which I hear is starting at 8 o'clock tonight. So what we may do is do like our show up till 8 o'clock and then go off. I don't know how long the president is talking to us tonight. I don't think it's going to be very long. And then we can come right back on right after he's done and then finish the show. That's kind of what I'm thinking of doing for tonight. Unfortunately, we had posted already that we were coming on tonight, and then Biden said, well, Chris, I'm coming on tonight as well. So, and
Just to spoil it for us.
That's right. So then there was like no backtracking. So it was like, okay, President Biden, you win. So we decided that, like I said, we'll go up to 8 o'clock and then we're probably going to shut down, but then come right back on after he's done.
Bertman says, how rude.
You know, he's the president. What do you want? So that is our plan for tonight. Whether that works and people come back on with us, I don't know. But that's what our thinking was for tonight. So it'll be a weird night of off, on, off, on. So, and like I said, I'm just letting people load up right now. And if anybody has any questions about Neal, I'm open for conversation tonight. So if we can answer it, we'll answer it. We just sold a piece of Conan that Neal did to the Conan Properties people for being able to use it as a comic cover, or actually whatever they want to use it for. But I think they're planning on putting it on a Conan book in our future. I hear somewhere in the 20s in issue numbers. So they were quite happy that we finalized the contract for that, and we're happy. So there'll be another piece of Neal Adams out there. This is a piece that he actually did as a commission for somebody. And as I always say, you never know what piece I'm going to take and try and sell it to somebody.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden you have a piece that was not a published piece that becomes a published piece. We've done that a couple of times now. So it works out sometimes for some people. And Glenn Ozella is watching.
Okay, Elite Cali Comics wants to know any Spider-Man drawn by Neal. I don't know if they have any Spider-Man heads left.
I do have a Spider-Man head.
You do? Okay.
I do.
It's just a question of finding it.
Hold on. We'll find it.
Mike Rock wants to know, do we get to see the Conan art ahead of the cover?
No, because they'll kill me.
But I will say, it has been seen on the show before. In the background. And that's all I'm telling you.
It has. You know, I do have a Spider-Man. I may not have it here. But if you direct message me.
Okay, Elite Kelly Comics, if you send us a DM, what we can do is either probably tomorrow morning, we can send you a picture of the Spider-Man, unless it's in the group that Chris just put down. Ah, she found it. Never mind. Never mind.
Here we go.
There you go.
Spider-Man. It always pops up as soon as I'm ready to give up.
I know, right? So this is original pencil and ink by Neal, Spider-Man. It is on 8.5 by 11 paper, and it is $600. And Scott Terry, is asking, can I see the Batman third from the bottom right? So that looks like the startled Batman, maybe?
Startled Batman. Put them up at the seam.
Yep. It's both Instagrammer, so that it's vertical. So on that, I can only show one at a time. So this is the startled Batman, and he is at $700, unless you meant the other one where he's more front on.
Which is $800.
Which we can pull that forward too if you want to see it.
Oh, you know what? I may have another Batman. Let me see. Hold on one second. I'm just going to double check if somebody made a move or they didn't make a move. Because somebody's been holding one. And
just since Chris is looking right now, there is also, I don't know what your price range is. There is also, Chris has this black and white Batman over here, which we refer to as Batman giving the side eye. And that is going for $2,000. That is 8.5 by 11.
Okay, not on Instagram. It's not on Facebook, so it's going to be Instagram.
So Scott Terry, let us know if you want to see any other Batmans.
I do have a little bit.
And Elite Cali Comics, let us know how you feel about Spidey. Do you have payment plans? We do have payment plans on original artwork. Original artwork is we ask that you put 1/3 of the total price down as a down payment, and the rest you pay over time. We do appreciate monthly payments of whatever increment you choose. The reason why we ask that you do at least something monthly is that it keeps it current in your mind and on our records. So whether it's $20 or $100, as long as there's a little something that goes in each month just to keep it current. And this is another Batman for $700. We'll call this one Snarling Batman, and then there's a more front-on Batman back on the wall if you want to see that one.
Ooh.
Which is this one for $800. Hey, Marilyn.
We're good at looking at Batmans.
He says, great, thanks. I may DM you later. I love Neal's art. I miss it. Thank you. We miss him too.
Okay, I just want to make everyone aware that lately a lot of stuff is going. I don't know what has caused it, and I'm not just saying it so that you guys make a move, but as of late, a lot of stuff is starting to move, such as we sold the Batman with the short ears that we've had for a really long time that had Zia colored and made it kind of feel Frank Miller-y.
Mm-hmm.
That piece is now gone, and a lot of other pieces have been flying out the door recently.
Okay,
So-
and Lucas, I'm afraid we do not do portfolio reviews. I'm sorry.
Okay, I gotta put this over here. Okay, so since we're kind of started the show, I'll let you guys start the show now. I'm gonna start moving stuff along here. Okay, and as people have said, I'll DM you later. A lot of people are DMing later.
Yeah.
And it's first come, first serve. So, again, where it used to be like if you DM'd, you would probably get it. I had 2 people fighting for the Man-Bat remark because the Man-Bat remark is now gone. And that was like people that just were like whoever got the money in first won. And that's how crazy that became. So that's what I'm saying. Things have been moving a lot.
E. Scott Terry says his comic covers always sell first on comic claim shows. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
So anyway, I was going to start with, this is something that I kind of forgot that we had. And then I was like, oh, right, we still have this. Hi, Sarah. How are you? This is the world's finest Guardians of Earth. I'm going to read it. And I'll show it to you guys. It has Superman and Hal Jordan. And what Neal did is down here in silver.
If you tilt it a little bit back at the top, then we'll see it a little bit better because it'll catch the light.
Right. It has Hal Jordan and it has
Superman.
Superman at the bottom there. Drawn by Neal.
In black and silver. Are
Yep,
these original or do you have prints too? Well, we will mention which ones are prints and which ones are originals. The artwork that is in front of Chris are all originals, except for, what she's holding is a book with original drawings on it. The other pieces are original artwork.
Right. Where you generally will say this is original art or this is a print so that nobody gets confused over what am I looking at. And we generally go through prints and then we'll move on to artwork. So I just pick in the front end of the show, either people do exactly what just happened where they'll ask me, do you have this or that already? And that kind of starts us, or I'll pick something that's a little off the norm. Like I just picked this Superman Hal Jordan remark on a hardcover. Because Neal normally never draws on a hardcover cover. He'll do it on sketch covers. He'll do it on comic book covers. But it's rare that Neal ever draws on a hardcover cover, which he did here. And again, it's Hal Jordan and Superman. And as Zia just pointed out, it's done in silver
And black.
and black. So the black in their faces was blacked in by Neal. It is signed by Neal. And we're selling this for $600. And this falls into the art category. So this would be available on the payment plan. Payment plan works for anything that has art.
Original art.
Original art. If it's prints, then prints have to get paid for within a day or two of the show. Or just let me know, I got to wait till the weekend. I understand that. But because prints are large and they go out in large boxes, I can't have all those large boxes sitting up here on payment plans. So our prints have always been non-payment plan, but all artwork has always been payment plan. Okay, so I'm going to put Hal Jordan and Superman to the side. Back here. Okay. I can start with prints, and then we can go to original art. I also want to point out that we have Batgirl up here to my right. Camera left. And the reason why you're seeing it in black and white and then color is we talk about this a lot. You can buy Spider-Man like this, and then you can have Zia color it on another piece of paper so that you can keep your pristine black and white and then have a color. Now, we used to not do it this way. We did it this way for all our commercial artwork at Continuity. We didn't do it when we started the show. Usually we did something like this where we would color the actual original, like Joker, Batman over here. That is a colored original by Neal. Zia did the coloring, Neal did the artwork.
And it's on the original ink.
And it's on the original, yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna get this off of Batman here. Put it up here. So this is original art by Neal that has been colored on the original art. What we recently started doing, I'm gonna make Zia seasick, is we started to take this black and white art that we had up for a while, and nobody was buying it. We had it at the price of $1,500, this Batgirl. And then Zia colored it on a copy so that the black and white can remain pristine since Neal is no longer with us. And that's a color that if I made this disappear, you would believe that Zia colored on the original. So we're now offering this to people who may have purchased black and white art but would love to get it colored, but I don't want to destroy my black and white line art. This is a way to go about it. Now the price for $1,900 is inclusive of the color and the original black and white. And you can't just buy the color. The two have to go together. So for $1,900, you're getting the black and white original by Neal, and you're getting an original color on a print by Zia. Which I know that's a little confusing.
E. Scott Terry says that's a great idea.
Right. So, because a lot of people feel you shouldn't be coloring on the original art. Some people don't mind being colored on the original art. So this was a way of opening a door that since we can't have Neal draw another one, we made it that you can buy the two as if we did color the original art, but the two have to be bought together.
Yes.
So a colored piece of art like that we would sell for $1,900 when we color the original.
But the color is not a huge price difference.
Right. If that made any sense, let me know. I'm going to put Spider-Man over here because I felt like I was even confused by that. It'll take a while to sink in what I'm talking about. I think I'm going to pull Joker over. So this again is original art. You know, this is, like I said, this is original art that was drawn by Neal that we actually colored the original art. So this is $2,000 to buy. This you might, I don't know if you're running the UTE today. But
Bertman says Zia's color is worth it. Thank you, Bertman.
But you have this as Batman
As a
Joker
scan.
Punch as a scan if you want. Because I have your little ticket back here. So we also do these pan and scans that if you're on both channels.
Facebook and YouTube.
Okay, Facebook and YouTube, you get to see a closer up shot of the piece of art and we pan it, meaning we go down it or around it or whatever, but you get to see it better. So if you have a Facebook account, you might want to go over to Facebook to Neal Adams Comic Artist to see the artwork a little bit better. So once again, we're showing original art by Neal, pen and ink. that has been colored by Zia. So the two are on one sheet of paper. And the price on this is
$2,000.
$2,000. The size of this is 11 by 14. Hey, Happy Towers, how are you? And Daniel Jones and
Felix.
Jim Hackett. And everybody just pop on.
I think they're used to us being a little bit late.
Yes. So again, the plan for tonight is we're probably going to go up to 8 o'clock. And then at 8 o'clock, we may shut down because Biden is coming on. I don't think he's going to be talking for a long period of time. And then we'll come back on when Biden is done. And hopefully everyone will come back to us and then tell us what Biden had to say. So again, 11 by 14, it's Joker punching Batman downward, probably his head.
Yeah.
At 2,000, it is a sign of, yes, it is.
Well, let me write it again for you, Happy Towers.
It is a signed piece. And the price on this is $2,000. And I want to point out that Batman has a bloody mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
There's a little blood in them teeth. Well, he got punched right before this.
Right.
There was a left cross.
Right.
And then this is the downward punch. And then the third image is Batman doing an uppercut.
And breaking Joker's teeth.
Breaking Joker's teeth. Well, tooth for tat.
Right. Exactly. Okay, so that is the Batman Joker punch. I'm going to go to this piece, which I don't know if we pan his hand.
Yeah, he's the side eye. I actually have him right. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
So this is a really nice Batman piece. Now this Batman piece can be colored. It can be colored on the original. It can be colored on a print of the original. So for the black and white art of this Batman pen and ink by Neal, signed piece by Neal, the price is
$2,000.
$2,000. It's one of the nicer Batmans we have in this, bust shot area of Batman. $2,000 is the price tag. And I think this is a great piece because it has different line weights of inking on this piece. That's fun to look at. All right, so I'm going to put Batman over here with Joker.
Hey, Gustavo. I know if I don't say hello, he's going to tell me to.
Okay, so I'm going to put this back up. And we're going to go into some stuff. All right, so people ask me, do I have any more color guides? So to answer the color guide question for right now, I have Daughter of the Demon. This is page 3. This is the color guide for the Treasury edition, and we're selling it for $500. This was hand colored by Neal and Corey.
Are they the same price each, just in case?
Yeah, they're both going to be $500. So this is the first one. This, like I said, comes from Daughter of the Demon. It is page
3, you said.
3. And it is hand colored. And it has the call outs of colors for the separators. And this was for the Treasury size edition. Actually, Happy Towers, who you would want to learn cross hatching and line stuff like that, the one that was probably the most fun to ever watch work was Rudy. Rudy Nebrez. I mean, Dad was excellent at doing it. I'm not taking anything away from Dad, But,
And Bernie was too.
and Bernie. I never saw Bernie. Really
Yeah,
draw.
I never saw him doing it,
So,
but his
but
cross
to watch somebody draw, Rudy Nebrez could do lines and just spin the page as he did it. And it was just like so cool to watch Rudy do it that it was like magical. And even Dad, in that respect of doing that, was not as magical as watching Rudy do it.
And Dad absolutely loved Rudy. So if you get an opportunity to see Rudy at a con or something like that, go check out his work. It's absolutely stunningly beautiful work.
Yeah, I don't know if the convention happened that he was going to be at. Because he was doing a convention somewhere in Jersey.
Well, he may also have a website run by his son. I'll check with Jason, but did Rudy use a brush? I would imagine.
Rudy did use brush. What Rudy also did, because he worked at Continuity for a number of years doing commercial work with Neal and also
comic book work.
Is that because Neal liked working with, I'm just going to use a Pentel. That's right here. So what Rudy used to do was he used to like take apart this pen and he would stick like a brush in this pen somehow.
Interesting.
And make his own tool out of it.
I don't think I ever caught that.
Actually, next time Pete is here, Pete has a better understanding of how Rudy built a brush out of a Pentel than I do. Because Pete worked with Rudy more than I did on the comic book work. Okay, so what we're looking at here is Daughter of the Demon. This is page 5. Again, from the Treasury size edition. That's why the pages are bigger. This is the hand color original by Neal and Corey Adams. And the price on this is $500. Retard says that's really old school. Yeah, it's really old school. I mean, there was there's Player versus Player, which was a strip, and the artist's name is not going to come into my head who does Player versus Player. But he became good friends with Neal's granddaughter, Courtney, because she loved his strip. So she convinced Grandpa to draw the Santa Claus edition of Player versus Player. And we actually taped Dad doing it, and we actually stuck a candle next to it because Dad was using the quill on the strip. And it just like some of the stuff that they use as tools is so like Benjamin Franklin that you just kind of have to laugh sometimes at it. Even though I do love the sound of like the really fine pen point,
the scritchy noise
scratches the paper when, especially when they're doing cross hatching, and it makes it makes this like very cool sound that for me is like it's very homey. Yeah, like it relaxes me when I hear it.
It's like white noise, only not.
Right. So, daughter of a comic artist from the past. So I probably would have gotten along very well with Benjamin Franklin. Okay, so this is Daughter of the Demon, page 5.
Except we need the occasional pencil sharpener going in the background.
Well, you know, when Dad did Big Casey, he used those camel boards.
Oh, wow.
And that was before the electric pencil sharpener. Yeah. So we used to have to sharpen Dad's pencils, or he used that camel board. And then I didn't see camel board among artists for a long time till Win Mortimer came up. And then when Win Mortimer started working at Continuity, he brought back the camel board with the pencil lead that would be like this long. Mm-hmm. So soothing drawing rhythms, yes.
Okay, so these color guides, since somebody just came on and asked what book this was from, this is from Daughter of the Demon. I couldn't tell you what issue number of probably Detective Comics it was.
Yeah, exactly. This is from the Treasury.
Wait, it says June 232, so maybe it's issue 232?
Well, I wouldn't go by that because it's, like I said, it was the Treasury edition. Now this may be before the because the Treasury
Yeah,
may
but
have been
I'm-
a reprint.
I'm going by the number 232,
No.
which that's not a normal number to have on there.
No.
So I am going to check.
But I doubt if Daughter of the Demon was 232. Maybe. Because we have Daughter of the Demon. Is that comic? No, it'll be the comic probably after that comic. I don't know. We'll figure it out, maybe. Okay, I'm going to move on. Because we're almost close to 8 o'clock. We're going to have to come
Well,
off.
it's definitely not Detective Comics 232. Maybe it's Batman 232.
All right, I'm going to go with the Soup's Color Torso. If there's anybody into Superman, this may be your piece for you. This is an 8.5 by 11 Superman.
Yeah, so it would have been issue 232, but the color guide is from the Treasury edition.
Right. So it's a recolor. So this is Soup's Color Torso.
Yeah.
It is 232 Gustavo. Okay, 1800 Superman, 8.5 by 11. Excuse me, sign piece by Neal. This is pencil and ink Neal. A little color by Neal. A lot of color by Zia. And the price on this is $1,800. Nice stoic Superman. This can go on the payment plan.
Looking like he's pondering opening a can of whoop ass on somebody. He hasn't made the decision yet, but he's pondering it.
Exactly.
He's like, do I need to come down there? I will stop this car.
Don't make me come down there. So $1,800 for Superman. And again, this can be purchased through our payment plan where you put a third down to hold the piece and then you can pay it off over time. You control that time. You control the increments that you pay. And when you pay off $1,800, we then ship the piece to you. It's an easy way to work. So $1,800 for Superman. Yeah, you're stuck. And again, that Batgirl piece is beautiful.
Actually, no, can of whoop ass, that's been around for a long time.
That's
That phrase. No, the phrase can of whoop ass.
Yeah.
And open a can of whoop ass. That is not a Neal Adams original phrase, I'm afraid.
Okay, this one's called Classic Dracula.
Alright, we have not shown this in a while, so I have to pull that one up.
So Classic Dracula is again a gorgeous piece of inking, let alone penciling of Neal. This is pencil and ink Neal. It's signed piece by Neal. It's 11 by 14. Again, very thin lines on this. Very dramatic piece.
Not on my list.
No,
I
it
don't know
says
where he is. No,
classic-
I believe you, and I may have done it. I may
classic
just not have transferred him from that computer to this one.
Classic Dracula.
So we'll have to look for it.
He wrote it in the Ali book. Can of whoop ass.
Can I look at it?
I'm sure somebody did can of whoop ass. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
think
that
Dad-
phrase has been around for a
Dad
long
didn't
time.
originate can of whoop ass. Probably a Brooklyn term. And the price on this is $2,800.
Probably a Bronx term.
Can of whoop ass.
Can I look? I don't know.
Kind of does sound.
Let's
It sounds a little bit
more.
more Bronxy than Brooklyn.
Well, that's why I said it sounds like Bronx.
Yeah. All right, $2,800 is the price. Again, the inking on this is amazing work. Where we were just talking about working with a quill or working with a brush. I want you to know it was my wonderful technique of taking care of my dad's ink brushes that made him the man he is.
Yeah, Dad taking care of his tools, not.
Chris taking care of his tools was worse. My dad, he would never clean his brushes. He was like the worst.
Yeah. No, I agree. Whoops. Why am I trying
And
that?
see, he'd leave his brushes. Like he said, he left his brushes that way because then they would hold a point. So if he let the ink dry out of his brush, it would make a point, which is exactly truthful.
That is true. It would
And
hold
what
up.
I used to like to do was when he wasn't working, I would go up front and then I would take his brushes and smash them into the desk and make brooms because then the India ink would dry and make like ash on the desk that you could then broom around.
Sweep around.
And then
You're
he
so
would
bad.
go, who the hell has been screwing around with my brushes? And of course I would sit there going, what could you possibly be talking about?
No idea what you're talking about.
You left him looking like a chimney sweeper.
That's true.
But because of that, he became a better inker. Because he had to use his shitty broom sweeper brushes to get through a job.
You're so sad. It wasn't the comic book slip and slide. It was chimney sweep brushes.
That's right. If you can ink with a chimney broom brush, you're a good inker. Okay, so what we're looking at is Vampirella, 8.5 by 11. Again, pen and ink by Neal. This is a really cute piece. It is signed by Neal, and the color on this is Zia. And the size of it is 8.5 by 11. And I'm telling you, this is a piece that Chris would buy because she's really adorable. She's got a really cute face. Now that we've added more color to it, you can really see it.
Gustavo, really, what kid of our generation did not have a can of lip ass opened on them at least once in their life? The newer generation, no. But our generation, absolutely.
So, very cute Vampirella. She's kind of dainty. I think she's sexy because she is cute.
She's being a little coy.
1,500 on this one. And Tony Shakori is with us tonight.
Hey, Tony.
Okay. So, VMP is going to go over there. Since tonight is advertising night, because it's Wednesday night, I pulled out a Rice Krispie dude. And this one is, you can see,
This is Crackle.
Crackle. So I have a Crackle here from Rice Krispie Treats. This is drawn by Neal. I will put a certificate of authenticity with this stating that Neal drew it. This is Neal's cartoon work that we used to do Atomatics for testing. We did a tremendous amount of Rice Krispie commercials. And we're selling this original, which is an original pen and ink by Neal for $100. And Zia can add color to this and make it really sing.
We don't have Snap and Pop on hand.
Somebody has bought Snap and Pop.
There you
So
go.
I'm just down to Mr. Crackle. So if there's
I
anybody
mean,
out
if we
there
scanned it, we'd probably send you a copy to go with it. But
whose favorite character may be Crackle, this is the piece for you. And a cute price of $100 for Mr. Crackle. Is Crackle related to Whoop-Ass? As far as I know, no. Okay, here's another word piece I'm going to enter into the arena. This is kind of like a flying ace piece that Neal did. Now, Neal did this for himself. This wasn't a commercial job.
oh, this was a GB something. I
The
remember
plane?
correctly, yeah.
Yeah. He just got into wanting to do, which is weird because I never think of Dad in airplanes. Horses, yes. Planes,
Well, I think he got into this after having done that Rocketeer book.
could be. So this is $300 to buy. It's pen and ink. There is a little guy inside the cockpit of this plane.
Is there?
Yeah, signed by Neal.
Oh, yeah, there it is. I will try to show the Facebook
It's
and YouTubers.
8.5 by 11. It's our Wednesday night weird night, so I decided this is a good piece for weird night. And the propeller looks like it's spinning. This can be colored. I'm sure Zia would do a dynamite, cool little red plane. The price on this is $300 to buy. It is signed by Neal.
Well, at the very least, I'll do my referencing with it.
Of course.
And knowing me, I will probably put a pinup girl on it too.
Probably. Actually, I should just
She'll be really small, but she'll be there.
Or maybe you'll write
And she'll
whoop ass on the front of the
Whoop ass.
plane.
with a big can.
And then everybody would say, whoop ass wasn't around when this was not.
I don't know that.
Well, that is true. We don't know that. All right. So again, a nice price tag of $300 for this piece. It is well drawn, guys. This is a good buy. Okay, next up is Batman, 8.5 by 11. Nice thick line inking here. Beautiful portrait shot of Batman. And the price is $1,400. It is 8.5 by 11. Mr. Ryan Torrance is with us tonight.
Hello, Ryan. Oh, and Ted, I saw you pop up earlier. I got a notification from CGC that they got your book, so hopefully you'll be getting it within the next 2 weeks. Because usually when I get the message, they're working on it. And Bertman says the president is on.
Okay. So the question, guys, is...
Well, let's see if our numbers dramatically drop.
Right. Or if they stop paying attention to us.
Right.
Is that we can actually end the show and come back on once the president is done. Or if you feel you're going to want to hang with us, we'll stay on through the president. But if you guys want to listen to him, I can be quiet. Zia and I can have a cup of coffee and we can come back on and finish the show later. I don't know if Biden being on TV drives you to us or drives you away from us.
One never knows.
Exactly. So I will just keep going. And like Zia said, if our numbers start dropping or you guys stop talking to us, then I'm going to shut down, but we will come back on. So again, we're now looking at an 8.5 by 11 Batman. And like I said, the key here is you got to talk to me. And more people are coming on.
Maybe they just Biden's on and
That's the
decides.
quandary. Yes, Happy Towers. That is the quandary for tonight. Okay, so 8.5 by 11, Batman. Nice thick inking on this one. So once again, it's kind of cool to see the differences in inking, whether he's using lightweight inking.
Yeah,
like
boy,
that.
there's still people popping in and out on Instagram too.
Yeah, and more people are coming on Facebook. So maybe Biden does better for us.
Biden should come on more often now.
And Jason came on because Biden is on now.
There you go. It will be on the news all day tomorrow, so no need to stop the real show.
Okay. Well, some people.
Fair enough.
Some people like to hear it when it's being done, so I wasn't sure.
I was there the day that.
Right, exactly. But that could be every day of our lives now. It seems like something
Seriously.
happens. So, okay, we'll continue onward then. So, $1,400 for Batman. Like I said, the line work on this is amazing as well, but this is a thicker, more brush type inking. Yes, yeah.
Okay, Comic Cameo. Yes, we do payment plans. The way we do it is you put 1/3 of the total amount down as a down payment, and you pay the rest monthly in whatever increments you choose. Once it is fully paid out, we pack it up and send it to you. It's as simple as that. If you choose to claim something, if you, in the comment bar where you wrote your question, if you write claim, let's say Batman bust, We will acknowledge that we've seen your claim. We will probably blow off one of our little confetti bombs, and then we will ask you to send us your name, your PayPal email address, and your mailing address so that we have it on record and we can start the payment plan running for you.
Is the Mexican president on? I don't think so, Gustavo. Okay, so Batman again, 1400. It is a signed piece by Neal. All right. Unfortunately, I stacked up my stuff a little weirdly. So
Did you do a wonky stack?
I kind of did a wonky stack. Okay.
Is this Phoenix?
This has been around for a while. I'm actually going to take it out of the plastic because I think the plastic makes her look darker for some reason.
It does. Well, luckily enough, she has a scanning pan.
Okay, 8.5 by 11. That's the size of this.
You are very welcome, Comic Cameo.
This is very contrasty, dark phoenix. Done by Neal and is signed at the top by her head. This is pen and ink Neal. Color on this is Jason Adams, another Adams. And the white paint edition on this is Zia. So a 3 Adams, a trifecta Adams piece for 1900. Nice dark phoenix. And once again, the price on this is 1900, and it can be put on the payment plan. Nice. I'm shocked this piece has not left us.
I'm surprised she's still here, too.
I just love the contrast of the white to the darkness of this, and how her eyes pop. And the white paint makes everything stand out.
Yeah, well, it was really actually a second layer of white. It's just the first layer of white was not opaque enough to really make it
pop,
radiate.
Right.
So it just needed that extra little.
Nice piece.
Kick.
1900 is the price on dark phoenix versus
Happy
light.
Power says it made a big difference.
Yep.
Thank you.
Skylar Homer is watching. So like I said, DC seems to be doing more facsimiles, and I believe Titan will be coming out with a Conan cover by Neal that has not been out as a cover. That's kind of cool. Smart company. Okay, this was going to be a cover on Neal's series First X-Men, and then Neal decided, nah, I'm not liking it, I'm going to do something else. So this is a piece with Wolverine by Neal. Like I said, this was done when we were working on First X-Men for Marvel, which is when we got to do Wolverine. This is pen and ink Neal. I don't know why Neal signed it twice.
Because it's so nice, he signed it twice.
I don't know if he didn't realize he signed it. And it was, I mean, a lot of times people come up to continuity, and, continuity was kind of always open to people. You didn't really have to make an appointment. People would drop by. And then they would go to the conference room with Dad, and you've been in the conference room with Dad because we used to shoot out of our conference room, and you saw that, Neal was set up on the same table that you would sit at if you were having a conference. And I think sometimes he would not realize he signed it and then would just go to sign it.
Right, like if he had a stack of stuff that needed signatures and
Right.
somehow it got mixed in,
Right.
he wouldn't even look.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that's the reason why there are 2 signatures on this. It is a gorgeous piece of work. This is pen and ink by Neal. It is a rare. It's thing that Neal does Wolverine. I would say it's not a character that Neal has done a lot of, even though he did do, a series with Wolverine. This is 10,000 to buy because it is a rarity. It is on 11 by 17 paper, so it has a lot of pop to it. Speaking of X-Men, I'm translating God Loves, Man Kills, graphic novel, and I'm trying to convince the editor to print Neal's tryout pages. Ooh. Well, good luck with that. All right, so this is, again, 10,000 for this piece. It can be put on the payment plan. Not only does Heritage have cool Neal Adams stuff, but we also have higher ticketed pieces as well that is available for buying. So Theo will come in one more time on Wolverine, and then I will move this onward. We have a Miguel Perez with us, and we have Dennis Armstrong. I think Happy Towers, Zia and I have to talk about it. I don't think Zia knew I was going to put that in the show, so we have not really looked at it. So, and I don't even think
that, we usually discuss that off camera anyway.
Right. So just direct message us, and we'll come up with a number. Because I don't even know what we're going to do with that piece. Like how we would color it. Like, are we going to do a dramatic, or is it just going to be a nice sky day? So we would have to think about that one. So once again, 10 grand for Mr. Wolverine. And like I said, if you look things up, you tell me how many times Neal has drawn Wolverine. Not too many.
And actually, on the color, I'll even let you name the plane. Usually they get names.
Even see, she's already thinking over there. Oh no. My Hulk lost his price. All right, I'm going to go back to advertising work. M&Ms. So we did work on M&Ms in our advertising years of continuity. And it is Wednesday where we put up some of our advertising stuff. No worries, I will claim it. 50-50 payment. Okay. So I think Happy Towers is claiming it.
Alrighty, thank you, Happy Towers.
All right, let me find it.
Oh. Woohoo! Do you even have your buzzer on you?
I do.
Yay! I'm running the ballpark.
I have to be annoying because it drives Zia crazy.
I know. Somehow I still love Happy Towers, even though he bought that for my sister.
It's when the obnoxious side of Chris can come out. Anything that annoys Zia, I love to do.
That is true. Well, because you missed out on so many years of being obnoxious with me.
I know. Imagine if you not only had Joel and Jason, but you could add me to it.
No, I think you and I would have been different than Joel and Jason.
I may have just been as bad.
No.
There you go, Felix. Thank you for purchasing the airplane.
Okay, what was the number on the GB?
300.
300. We're okay.
Okay, let me just get Happy Towers on this. So that's how you do it, guys. If you're interested in purchasing something, you just write it in the claim, and we'll do this a lot. And we'll make a mess. What more could you ask for? Someday my big bombs will be back, but I don't know.
Actually, if if I feel like having big balls, maybe I'll put Rocketeer flying way in the background chasing it.
See, that's what I'm saying. Izzy is crazy. She's gonna like come.
But
up
Happy
with-
Towers knows this because he inspired me to do the John Wick voodoo doll.
See, there
painting.
you go.
So he knows that all he's got to do is plant the seed, and I will make the Christmas tree.
There you go. All right. So what we're looking at here is peanut M&M, yellow, red M&M, and they're dressed like when you go to an amusement park and you want to get your photo taken, and they have those costume booths where you can dress like a cowboy or a poker player,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what they're doing here. So this is Neal's original pen and ink.
It would figure that the red M&M would like run the poker table at the saloon.
Right. And this is $200 to buy because it is not signed by Neal. I will definitely put a certificate of authenticity stating this was drawn by Neal. And
Felix probably no. You got that for Chris after she lost her maracas,
because I also have my new maracas.
right? Because you sent the little baby maracas.
My little baby maracas. Okay, I'm gonna move my M&Ms
But
over
Chris
here
likes the noise machine more.
because it annoys you.
There you go.
Okay, where am I going?
Now, actually, that noise annoys me more when, like, I'm in an Uber on the way home and they're listening to the radio and the DJ is playing some music and I'm kind of enjoying the music, but they got to do their commentary in the middle of the song and they hit that button, and it's like, can I just listen to the song? Can you just
there you go.
play the music and shut up?
Okay, here is another piece by Neal. Imagine that, another piece by Neal. Okay, this is a Conan type. And we all know it probably is Conan.
Okay, Happy Towers, we will talk.
It is $2,500 to buy. It is 11 by 14. I don't know why Neal didn't ink lizard things in the background.
I don't know, I think he's cute not inked.
And
He's like threatening but kind of adorable at the same time.
yeah. I think Dad inked what he wanted to ink, which was Conan. We're selling this for $2,500. I believe this has been printed in this weird form.
Yes.
And it is signed by Dad. So maybe he designed it to be this way. Unfortunately, I cannot ask the question.
Nope.
So $2,500, a really nice Conan. I'm contemplating whether I want to ask someone to ink the rest of it.
Well, it might not even need the inking because if colored properly, it could be sort of misty in the background and there's the indication of the giant lizard, but you don't see him too clearly, but enough to know that like Conan's in trouble.
Well, this is a good piece that I can also try selling to the Conan property people. So $2,500 for this piece, which obviously Z and Chris are now going to have a how about tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that might need to be inked is like the chains down to the things that are holding him to the floor, because that's still in pencil. But we could always do that as a
But
patch.
you know,
It doesn't
I
need to
can
be inked
also
on the
pull.
original.
I can also pull the Batman Wolf, Moon of the Wolf Batman, because that's kind of what Batman's chained up like. And we might be able to steal stuff. Ooh, we're stealing stuff now. Ooh.
As long as we're stealing from ourselves, it's okay.
That's right. Dad taught us how to steal.
That's right. We're artistic pickpockets.
2,500, 11 by 14, and this is how we do business.
Creative pickpocketing.
2,500 for Conan. This is a great Conan piece, soon to be screwed around with. You never know where it'll end up.
I have
Okay.
so many projects on my plate, I swear to God.
That's right. I'm in control of which one you work on. Okay. 8.5 by 11
Unfortunately,
Dead
that's
Man
very
coming up. Dead Man is 1800. You know, this is a Dead Man piece, which I'm going to try and get the lights off of him.
Not the Baba Ganoush one. No, no.
No, Baba Ganoush.
Chris was like, did we sell the Baba Ganoush one? Yes. We
Well,
sold the
because
Baba
you
Ganoush
kept
one.
calling it the Baba Ganoush, so I was calling it what you were calling it. Okay, this is Screaming Dead Man, or what my father would be doing right now to me and Zia if he were here. This is 1800 to buy. It is pen and ink. Neal color is the skin tone of Dead Man was actually colored by Neal. The rest of this is Zia. So this has a bit of Neal Adams color. Definitely his pen and ink work. And then the poppy red outfit is Zia. The price on this is $1,800. It is signed by Neal, and this can go on the payment plan where you put a third down of the $1,800, and then you pay it off over time that you control. No penalties or interest when it's completely paid off. We ship it. So again, $1,800 on Dead Man. And that's a really nice Dead Man. And I'm very particular about Dead Man. I don't like all of Dad's Dead Mans, but I do like that Dead Man. That falls into the good Dead Man. Yeah, Happy Tar says, I think the binding to the floor of the Conan piece was Neal trying a different direction. Okay, I'm going to do a Superman bust profile. Because you know there's a Superman movie coming out soon. And everybody's going to be like, ooh, Superman. And then everybody's going to be looking for Supermans. And Neal does a really nice Superman. So this is an 8.5 by 11 bust, kind of like the Batman bust. It is $1,500 to buy. Pencil and ink Neal, signed by Neal. It can be colored if you'd like it colored. It adds a little bit of additional money onto the piece. But $1,500 for Superman bust.
It's coming.
If that came first, you probably would not have the chain in between the wrist bindings. Now you're gonna make me look at this. I don't know.
Maybe, maybe not. But you could be right.
Okay. Superman. And speaking of Superman,
Yeah, it could have just been Conan standing there with chains. And then he thought maybe he would add the rest.
Yeah.
And then decided not to. So
I don't
that does
know.
make sense.
There was an older piece that was like that he did.
You left the previous sticky on.
Oh, thank you. Okay, we have this gorgeous Superman piece.
I can't believe this Superman is still here.
This is movie quality
I
Superman here.
Busted my hump on color on this one, and it showed.
So this is pencil and ink Neal. Color on this is Zia. And I want to point out that the background of this is colored by Zia. The
And it is
figure,
all marker.
and the figure work on this is Neal's pen and ink. So this is truly Neal and Zia working together to make a gorgeous piece. So the price on this is $2,600.
Yes.
Yeah, $2,600.
I think you're probably right, Felix. It makes sense. Thank you, Felix.
I mean, how do you not have Superman Clark Kent taking his shirt off and becoming Superman?
Well, I had originally considered a phone booth, but that would have been rather cramped, especially with his elbows all the way out, you know.
Yeah, it would have to be like a really wide wheelchair accessible
phone booth.
phone
Yeah.
booth for that.
So it had to be, yeah.
But really cute Superman. Neal does a great Superman. Very powerful piece here. $2,600. Uh-oh. Where'd everybody go? My number's dropping. Is Biden saying something? What is Biden saying?
What happened?
Ooh. Peace.
Felix says, if I could unload some stuff, I would scoop the soups as well as the splatter soups.
Ooh. Yeah, I just had this splatter soup here a second ago. Where did I...
Oh, Bertman says it's over already.
Oh, is it?
Okay. So was it just him saying that he's done and
Okay.
pushing Kamala, or what was it?
I'm gonna put this out there.
Lieutenant Blueberry.
Yes.
I kind of love Lieutenant Blueberry.
Okay. Everybody pay attention to this one. This is the last time you're gonna see it tonight. So if anybody wants this is the time to buy it.
How much was the Batman bust? How long ago did you see it?
Was it the profile?
Are you talking this one? Because I do remember I showed this to you at the top of the show. So if it's this one, it's 2,000.
Or is it the small ones, like Startled Batman? Meanwhile, everybody should be paying.
All right. Is it this one, or is it one of the ones in the frames like that behind Chris? Which one is it?
Where I had also.
Right angle. Right angle. Angle. This one?
The answer?
Not yet. Right, is it? Yeah, that one. Thank you. Okay, so this one that I'm showing right now for 1,400.
Sorry, guys, we're just
That's
getting
okay.
some answers here. But in the meantime, we should think about this one.
Lieutenant Blueberry.
While he's thinking about Batman, we should talk about Lieutenant Blueberry.
Okay.
So, tonight is the last night you're going to see it. If nobody buys this is going to disappear tonight. So, it's Lieutenant Blueberry. It is 8.5 by 11. It is drawn by Neal. It is $600 to buy. Really nice piece. A crisp pick. Because I'm going to have the color at.
Oh boy. Comic cameo before Chris goes on. Would you like to claim the Batman that for 1,400, or you just wanted to see it again and know the price? Happy Tower says Chris is taking it home.
No, Chris is gonna buy it because it's
Chris is
a
gonna-
present.
Oh.
So it's the last time, guys. If anybody buys it,
Snooze or
you
lose.
snooze, you lose. And I'm gonna have Zia color it.
And
then,
I'm actually gonna print it on watercolor paper.
and then you
color it
guys
with
are gonna be like,
watercolors.
oh, Chris was right again.
Just wanted to see it again. Big fan, so thinking about it. No, it's okay. I just wanted to know where you were at, so we
Right.
know whether to put it away. But if you want to later on, go back and review this, take a screen grab in case a couple of weeks from now you decide, hey, I want to get it. You can just send us that screen grab and say, hey, do you still have this one? I want to get it, and we can take care of you.
So
That way we don't have to go through like all the different
Right.
Batman busts. You know which one you want.
Right. Okay, so this is Lieutenant Blueberry. I'm going to leave it available for the world till.
Midnight tonight.
No, I'll wait till the weekend. I'll wait till Monday. If
Oh,
nobody
boy.
buys this, then Chris is going to buy it on Wednesday night next week. Then I'm going to have Zia color it. And then I'm going to show it to you guys. And then you're going to be like,
And then if you want it, you're gonna have to buy it from her, but it's gonna cost way
no,
more
no,
than
no,
$600.
I'm buying it as a present for somebody. But I will give, because I always do
You'll
this,
have to tell me later who that is.
I give you, how much do you have to think? Who would want Lieutenant Blueberry? Of course.
Oh, okay.
And I know he's not watching because he never watches my
That
show.
is true.
So, because he just loves me that much.
Well, then I'll have to make it even more special because I love him, man.
I know, but we have to match it to like the book, which I'll find the book.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think I have to print it on watercolor paper and
right,
make it ready.
exactly. And then I'll show it to you finished. So
And then
So
everybody
one
will eat
week
their hearts out.
by Friday night, if anybody wants this, buy it now because it's going to leave the table, and then I don't feel bad. Like I always say, that Galactus cover went around for years in Neal's portfolio to every convention that all of you saw him at before I asked if I could have it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, this is going to go, guys. So think about Lieutenant Blueberry. Nobody wants him, that's fine. Okay.
Yep, I even did a black set in watercolor that ended up going on auction at the Baltimore Comic Con when we were doing that.
Yeah, that was
Artist
gorgeous
work.
piece.
That was a nice piece. I was actually I was impressed by myself. I was like, wow, I did it. Because I didn't think I could do it.
No, you did a nice piece on that. Okay, this is Superman black and white splat.
Splat.
Splat. Okay, this is one of my last. Deborah said you'll do it in watercolor?
Yeah.
She'll match it to the Lieutenant Blueberry stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if it's something
She'll use
that
color,
has
pencil, and watercolor.
Yeah, if it's something that has a style established already and that you want it matched in that style, and if that style is watercolor, I will do my damnedest to make it work. And it will work.
All right, Superman, which is a fantastic Superman. It's maybe one of the best Supermans I have left. This is 2,500.
This is geez, you guys are killing me.
This is pen and ink Neal. Splat work is always Jason Adams. It is a signed piece by Neal. And this can be colored.
I mean, if you fall in love with Chris's and we no longer have a Neal Adams Lieutenant Blueberry, I could take a crack at doing a Lieutenant Blueberry myself. So if it does burn your biscuits, there are solutions.
2,500 Superman. Nice action pose Superman. Pen and ink. The guy who did Superman Ali. $2,500 on soups, can go on a payment plan.
And even though it has the splatter, it can be colored separately on a separate piece of paper.
Yes. All right. So why don't we talk, I'm going to put Batgirl up front here. We'll talk about Batgirl again.
Okay.
Okay.
And since Chris is doing that in the meantime while she's putting that up, if I have at least 3 people interested in the Killer Clowns mini painting, I will put that up for auction tonight. If I don't have at least 3 people interested, I will wait until there's a bit more interest. How much was the alleyway soups?
Alleyway soups is $2,600. There's alleyway soups. Phenomenal piece.
I think we are killing Felix. Sorry, Felix. Okay, so Ford is interested, right? We just need 2 more people interested in the Killer Clowns, and we'll put it up for auction.
Okay.
Because I really don't know what number to put on them.
All
Which is why
right.
the auctions are nice, because that gives me an idea.
And I have my mini maracas. And I have my
Comic cameo. Okay, so we got 2 people that may be interested in Killer Clowns, so all we need is 1 more. And let's discuss Batgirl as per Chris's.
Okay, so Batgirl is $1,900, and for $1,900 you get the original black and white, original by Neal, which is camera left.
Yes.
Happy Towers is doing that. Okay, and then the color piece here is actually printed from the black and white, and then colored by Zia. And she added the background elements that are on there, just like Superman. Superman, what Neil drew was the figure work of Superman, and then Zia added this elaborate background.
Which, if you flip it over, you see the bleed through of the color.
There you go.
So that's how you know it's original color.
Right.
Okay, we have a 3rd person interested in Killer Clowns. So when Chris is done with
Okay.
Batgirl.
So Batgirl is $1,900. You get both the color and the black and white for that price. Because I will say the Batgirl, I don't know if you want to come in on it, but the Batgirl is based off of the kind of TV show Batgirl.
Yep, the Yvonne Craig colors.
Right. So she even has texturing in the costuming of Batgirl.
And this is also printed on the same cougar paper that Neil draws on.
It's a nice action piece. Really nice piece of art. Nice dramatic Batgirl. Wait, Neil did not ink the alley?
No, Neil
No,
did not
Felix.
ink the alley. That's all me.
That's what we keep telling you guys every week.
Yeah, that was a no background image when Dad gave it to me, the Superman, and I had to come up with something to put behind him.
Right.
When was that flying Superman done? The splatter one? That
A long time ago, because that actually got buried up here, and then we found it. But this was done a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, Felix, if you watch when I do the explosions, I did this a very similar technique. I kind of eyeball it, so there's not a lot. There might be a little bit of pencil on it just to get some of the straight lines, but other than that, this is all marker in the background. Okay, Raymond said splatter one, yes. So yeah, that was one that's been floating around for a while. I couldn't tell you exactly what year it was, but
I think it was when Dad was still around, because Jason hasn't been splattering in forever. And like I said, this got buried and then we found it. So I would say this was done while Dad was still No, I mean, yes, done while Dad was alive. Okay. Let me back
That was
up. I know. Because even though Dad was alive, Dad was sick for a while. So what I'm trying to say
So it was when he was still in the office on a regular basis.
Right, in the office on a regular basis. We had this when Neal was doing the show with us almost every day.
Right.
And that was when Jason was doing the splat work. So I would say this goes back before Dad got sick.
Right, and we were doing
and
the
it's the
shows
same
probably
thing-
2 years before Dad got sick.
I think we did for a year.
So it's at least 3 years, maybe
Same thing
5.
with Batgirl. Batgirl we found in the drawers. So Batgirl is actually an older piece that just, I mean, you don't understand how our dad worked. Our dad had, I mean, what I'll do is I'll bring
We don't understand how Dad
We'll
works.
even bring Pete on to explain how many times we did the same page of a comic book 3 times
Just because it got buried.
just because it got buried. I mean, Neal worked
Stacks.
He had a desk that was in his like real office. Then he had, I mean, you guys saw the conference room when he was working on the table off to the side.
The table that Chris is sitting at right now is pretty much where Dad mostly worked.
Right.
And it's probably about, I don't know, 6 feet by 4 feet?
Maybe.
Or maybe 7 feet by 4 feet. And it would be almost all Dad's papers and stuff.
Yeah, we used to have to
And
carry
stacks.
his pile. And then we would carry his piles to do the show.
Right.
Off the table, and his marker box would have to, you know, that box of all his tools that I pulled out,
Mm-hmm.
and we found pencils in there, and we found pen points and quills and all that crap. Well, I got so tired of always having to clean off the conference room table for the show that I bought that box just so I could sweep the top of the table into the box and then take out the stuff after the show and put it back on the table. And then he had his apartment, which his apartment had another huge desk with this structure that he built around
It went
himself.
around him to where there was like maybe a quarter of the circle was where he could get in and out of the space.
Right. Then he was at a convention with you guys every weekend.
With a huge stack.
With a huge stack. I mean, we used to do advertising work at conventions.
Yeah.
Marilyn used to carry around a scanner Xerox machine that we would connect up, and while he was at the show, he would be drawing commercial work. They would be sending it to me. I would be giving them the changes that were happening in between drawing Batman commissions.
Yep.
This is how much work this man did.
This
And
is
his
how much
portfolio-
paper was around it.
Right. His portfolio was like Felix the cat. You put a page in there, it would disappear. I don't know where it went.
Yep. There have been times where I have literally paper by paper searched Dad's portfolio twice.
Right.
And then I would go back to Dad and I'm like, Dad, I can't find it. I've searched everywhere. He goes, give me my portfolio. And like 2 seconds later, he pulls it out of his portfolio. I was like, where the hell did that come from?
Right.
There's like a freaking Harry Potter pocket in his
Felix the
portfolio.
So when we say things get lost, and then he did it a while back, I kind of remember the Superman going back to when Dad was fine and doing shows with us.
And Dad would also draw stuff without telling us. Like the stuff that was in books that we had to search every freaking book or sketch pad or tracing paper pad because there would be some little gem or jewel in there that he didn't tell anybody about.
Right. But
That almost got thrown out just because we didn't know.
Right. But next time Pete is on the show, ask him about why did Neal draw comic pages over and over again.
Yep. And why are there partial pages out there?
Every comic book has a page in it that was drawn twice.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
So, okay. So much for our telling Dad stories. He may have looked organized, but he was not. But he did a ton of work. Okay.
Happy Tower says, that's amazing. My brother is an illustrator from the next generation, and he did not have that old school work ethic.
I think Neal just had a lot of kids. I don't know if it's an old school work ethic
Well, I think
or it's called gotta pay the bills.
well, I think it's a combination of that, but he also had so many ideas, so many things in his head that he needed to get out. I mean, that's one thing about certain artists is they've got, whereas is I'll have a blank canvas in front of me. I don't know what the hell to do with it. But, Dad and a painter friend of mine, he's like, no, I'm already like in my head on my 5th painting. Dad's probably on his 100th drawing ahead of whatever the hell he's doing at the moment.
Right, and then he would go home and write letters and
Right.
his craziness. He would come in and bitch because the hotel that they built next door to where Neal and Marilyn lived was like blocking that Dad couldn't get his cabs in the morning. So he had to write a letter and then send that out. I mean, he was always doing, crazy stuff.
No, my favorite was the story about the 5-page letter about how to butter toast for the hotel.
Yes.
That one's my favorite.
So that also came in between all this work. So we have Batgirl now up. This is a different Batgirl. This is colored on the original art. So this is original pencil and ink by Neal. Color on this is Jason. This is like 100% mostly airbrushing. This is an old piece that also goes back a ways. This is 1800. Actually, the Superman piece of this black, we haven't even shown on this show lately because it got caught in one of the folders of the NHL players.
Oh, good.
And that's where I found it today. So even within us,
right,
you think using a folder is a good idea to hold artwork together on one job, and then accidentally something will slide into a folder. But I found Superman, which is why we haven't had Superman on the show recently, was because he slid into an NHL folder. Okay, so Batgirl is 11 by 14. She is 1800. Gorgeous airbrushing work by Jason Adams on this.
And Dad was definitely driven by providing for his family at a very young age.
Yeah. Of course, it was very expensive as a kid.
There is that, yes.
I never got my Mr. and Mrs. Mouse house.
I know. I think Dad still feels bad about that.
No, he doesn't. There's my Mr. and Mrs. Mouse house. Okay. I'm going to go commercial, even though Kelly Ruska's not here, and Kelly Ruska's usually who's up my butt about, when are you going to show commercial work?
Okay. Paris is laughing.
I have a nice big piece. Now this I took the price down on.
You did.
I did. This was a commercial piece that we did for Nickelodeon, which had all the shows that were running. We did a lot of stuff. We did, Power Rangers for Saban. We did Nickelodeon work. This is all Neal's cartoon type work. It is signed by Neal. It is
$900.
$900 to buy. Now, what I would do is I would talk to Zia about coloring this up because she also can color cartoons. Same way Neal Adams can draw cartoons and match style. And this would be a cool piece to frame on your wall.
Yep. Printing it same size might be a bit of a challenge, though.
True, we would probably have to shrink it.
Well, we'd have to shrink it, or we'd have to take it out to get printed.
Well, but this is layout.
Because it's big.
This is layout on paper.
Yeah, but it's. Oh, you mean color on the original?
You can color on the original. Why not? That's how we used to do the commercial work.
Happy Tower says, no more suggestions, Chris.
But this is another Chris wants.
Mm.
So I'm just putting it out there. Eventually, I might just go for this and then have Zia color it.
The biggest we could print it in-house is 13 by 19.
Which I think is a good size.
I think it is a good size. It's just smaller than the black and white.
Yeah. So
I forgot to change the price on my thing. Sorry, guys.
$900 is the price for the Nickelodeon piece. It has all of our favorite little friends here. We have Ren and Stimpy, obviously. We have the Rugrats. We have, does Chris remember their names?
I know you got all the ones that I know.
I forget.
Arthur, right?
Was it Arthur? Was that the kid?
That's the kid, I think.
Yeah.
Is Arthur.
Right. I have to get my kids on.
But I don't know.
My kids would know all of these. So anyway, this is Neal Pen and Ink.
I only watch the stuff where the characters are badly behaved. So that's Ren and Stimpy and Rugrats.
Nickelodeon. Signed by Neal. $900, which leaves a nice amount of room to have Zia color this. And when I looked at this today, I was like, Zia could color this and it would be great. $900. Okay. You want to do your auction?
Sure.
Okay, we'll go to Z's auction because you guys have been nice enough to wait because I kind of forgot.
Yep. For those who like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I did a 8 by 8 inch mini painting of the popcorn clowns.
Are there popcorn clowns? Oh, it's on the
Yeah,
popcorn box.
after they shoot the popcorn gun,
Yeah.
out of the popcorn comes these, heads, the clown heads on necks. Yeah.
No, I understand.
So I think I'm going to start the auction at $30.
Oh, you know what? Let me get it. I use Silver Surfer. He can help.
You can help.
I'm gonna need something to stick
Oh,
prices on.
Got it.
So I'll use Silver Surfer.
Okay, so this is all acrylic. This is all right. Comic Cameo is starting it at $30. Thank you, Comic Cameo.
Okay. Comic Cameo. 30.
All right, so we have our first bid on the Killer Clowns by me, Zia Adams. For those of you who don't know me, at $30. Would you
Word is
slide
building.
the sticker to your right, please?
So I'm gonna put it in the one.
Well, I just want it closer to the image so I don't
Is that
have to
better?
be so far away.
Okay. Ford is at 40.
Ford is at 40. Thank you, Ford. We haven't had an auction here in a while.
I know. I almost forgot what you had to do for it. Okay, so we are currently with Ford at 40 for Zia's. Are they killer clowns?
Killer Clowns.
Killer clowns.
These are the popcorn clowns. Which I do have more clowns planned because I thought I was doing a Halloween convention, but apparently that horror con has been pushed back. So I have a little bit more time to do stuff. So this was one of the pieces I was planning for it. But I'd like to get it before Halloween because I think it's a great piece.
Okay, so we're with Ford at 40. Would anyone like to bid 50? Since we seem to be moving up in $10 increments or $20 increments, whatever you'd like to do.
Yep.
We're with Ford at 40.
What's the increments? Whatever you feel like. I mean, we would like 10, but it's a small piece, so I'm not going to be finicky.
I'm not doing dollars.
Chris is not doing that. Okay, so I guess, all right, so he's,
It has to
Comic
go at
Cameo
10.
says 50, so Chris says 10 is the increments. Oh, you guys.
Okay. So Comic Cameo is at 50.
All right, Ford is at 60.
Okay.
I will zoom in a little bit closer so you guys can see a bit more of the detail on the piece.
Ford is at 60.
This is on cotton canvas, stretch canvas on
On a
wood frame.
Yep.
Even
So
though
this
it does
is-
have a bit of a watercolor feel, this is acrylic paint.
And this is Neal Adams.
All right, Comet Cameo is at 70. Ford is at 80. All right. We have our own little bidding thing. Now we need our Rocky music.
Anyone can jump into this.
Yep.
It is Neal Adams. It's a painted piece. Halloween is right around the corner.
Comet Cameo is at 90.
Okay. Comic Cameo. 90.
Ford is at 100.
All right, guys.
There's a
Ford
real bidding war going on here.
is at 100. $100 for Killer Clowns popcorn. Nice detail work on the popcorn. I like the purple background myself. And we're currently with Ford at 100. Comic Cameo is checking out how he's feeling.
Hmm.
Anyone else can jump in and bid. The size of this is
8
small,
inches by 8 inches. Yep.
small by small.
Small by small. But it's for
It's
for
a cute
the size. It's actually
a perfect size.
You don't have to worry about, do I have wall space for it?
Right. It's like the size of a tile. So we're with Ford at $100.
What do you think, Comet Cameo? You in, you out?
Scan a pan would have been good.
Okay. Not a lot to scan and pan on this one.
It has cool teeth. The teeth from the clown is what I like. He has gotten into these very sharp, daggerish teeth. I think it started with the Joker painting he did.
The Joker didn't have sharp teeth. He just had
No,
really
he had
big
good teeth. He had big, good teeth. But they
Yeah.
were like achy good teeth.
Yeah, well, they're yellowed and stuff.
Yeah. So we're with Ford at 100. Going once.
We lost Comet Cameo. He's not answering back.
He could be checking out the vault. All right, we're with Ford Dolan at 100 for the Joker Killer Clowns. Going twice. Anybody else can jump in before I go for 3. Anybody else? Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times. Okay, going forward at $100.
Congratulations, Ford! Thank you, Ford.
And that was our fun.
That was fun.
It was very cute. I think Ford has the biggest collection of Z work out there.
Well, it's between Ford and Felix. But I think Ford has more.
All right, I'm gonna put it up here next
But there
to
is
Happy
Sarah
Towers.
too. Sarah's got quite a few of my voodoo dolls.
That's true too. Sarah's got a bunch. Brent Fontenot is
Hey,
hiding
Brent.
in the background. Now everybody's gonna think my Silver Surfer is $30.
Oh, don't want to have that happen.
I don't know where out here's my price.
Ford does have critters. I wasn't sure whether the killer clowns from outer space counted as critters, but apparently they do. They're definitely not humans.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys, and thank you, Comic Cameo, for joining in on that one as well. I certainly appreciate it, and I will be letting you guys know when I have more.
Oops.
I actually have an Evil Dead one planned. I have more Killer Clowns planned. I have Reanimator planned.
Reanimator. Wow.
Well, I'm a big lover of Jeffrey Combs. I absolutely adore that man.
Mm-hmm.
Gremlins and a few others. But all like Halloween stuff
Sounds like a
building
big
up.
Halloween in Zealand. Well, I've noticed they started advertising Halloween today. I started getting Halloween stuff in my email.
Yeah, well, I've been seeing a lot of Halloween like decor, drinks.
We've gone right past the
costumes.
end of summer,
Yeah.
school, right to Halloween.
Yep.
So,
And I'm okay with that.
and
My
towards-
son once went as a killer clown for Halloween. Oh, cool.
I went to know I was a clown. I wasn't a killer clown. But
Which
I might
killer
have been.
clown was he? You'll have to send me pictures. I need to know which killer clown. Because I have Shorty and I can't remember what the rounder one was. The Happy Tower says my faves are John Wick and Inigo Montoya. Yeah, those are good ones. Thank you.
You guys are so crazy.
They're fun.
Okay. I have next up.
Our music just died.
I know our music just died. Somebody
Rather
killed-
dramatically.
Somebody killed a guitar solo or bass solo. What's going on? Okay, next up is a 8.5 by 11 Batman pencil. This is Batman with a Batarang for $800. Now this is Neal's kind of prelim pencil for a piece that we sold during one of these shows. Excuse me, I'm sorry, for $800. It's a very tight pencil. Zeal will come in. You can see the work on the face on this one.
Okay, let's get it.
It's actually
Yes.
Batman pencil.
Got
Batarang.
it.
Okay. It's got a very tight face, like that's nailed. This is $800. Good Batman lips. So, like when you draw, you never really think about people's lips, but especially on a man. And if you notice, most comic artists don't really do lips
Yeah.
on superheroes. Dad.
Well, it's hard to do. There's a very delicate balance
right.
that you have to meet, and it's really hard because otherwise they look like girls
Right.
wearing lipstick.
Dad did good lips. This is a really good piece of how to do lips on a male superhero.
And for those of you on Instagram, I'll zoom in there so you can see what Chris is talking about.
The lips. So, it's kind of like most comic artists also draw different teeth.
Right.
All the teeth are the same.
Right. It's either like a straight line with maybe,
A couple
dents at the
Right.
canines, or you get chiclet teeth.
Yeah. And Dad actually did teeth.
Yep.
I mean, he would skip lines too. I'm not saying like
Well,
every
you have
tooth.
to
Right.
skip lines, but you can indicate where the lines separate or where the teeth separate without actually drawing the line that separates them
Right.
and making them chiclet teeth.
Chiclet teeth. All right, so that is Batman pencil for $800. Anything Chris likes.
And you and Chris have very similar tastes.
Which is excellent taste.
Of course.
Okay. Next one is Robin the Boy Wonder. Now this is actually a prelim for a cover. The art size of this is 5x7. Now this is something I would buy. This is $600. And the reason why I would buy it is because it stars Robin. It has such a nice flow to it, and the composition is nice to the logo. And I like the fact that Batman is still in it, but he's very much not the key. This was done at the time period of the new Robin outfit.
Oh, I do have a scan pen of that.
And this, like I said, this is a prelim, meaning Neal's layout. You know, we sent in probably 5 different layouts for DC's editor to then pick which one they liked. They picked whatever they liked, and this was not used. So this is one of those non-used prelims by Neal. And the price on this is $600 to buy. It can go on the payment plan. So once again, nice piece. A piece that I would definitely. So do you have a scan pen?
Yes, it was downloading.
Okay. Negligent.
Okay, so Comics Cameo said, thank you for the opportunity to bid on the show. I have a big collection of Neal, but nothing hand-drawn. So I just replied to him back that we have a vast amount of items still in a varied price range. So just DM us, let us know what you like, what your price range is. I'm sure we can find something that suits you.
Right. Okay. Cool. Okay. Yep, Brent, you're right. But there's a lot of pieces and not all the time. When do I have them with me during a show? Which is why we always ask people to direct message us when we don't have stuff, because it's hard to remember all the possibilities of pieces. And sometimes, like I said, sometimes the stuff gets put away and then gets pulled back out.
Right.
So it's not 100% in my radar sometimes either.
Yep, and like we say all the time, there is the payment plan. There's a lot of people that, when we first started doing the shows, were like, oh, I could never afford a Neal Adams piece of artwork, that now are complaining that they don't have enough wall space for all of the Neal Adams artwork that they have.
Okay, let me pull out a big guns one.
So we can always find a way to work with you and find you something that you're happy with.
Okay, so this is original published art. Pencil and ink Neal from Batman Odyssey. This is from the second issue. It is page 12. Excuse me.
Batman, open up a can of whoop ass.
Yep. So there's a lot of Batman on this page, which always makes it a worthy page price-wise. It is from Batman Odyssey, which Neal considered his best work. I will say it is an amazing amount of work by Neal Adams in one series. I mean, 13 issues. When did Neal ever do 13 issues consecutively? Not very often. I'm not even sure if he's ever done that before. But Batman Odyssey was a very personal odyssey for Neal.
And very misunderstood.
Yeah.
And I think, for anybody who's watching who is like, oh, I couldn't, follow it or whatever, it helps, like Chris said when she first brought it up, it helps to read it all in one go. It's like, unfortunately, as comic books, you would get one, and then the next month or so you get the second one, and maybe you didn't,
Well, he was very frustrating because part of the problem was he would leave an entrail of something, and you would finally kind of get the answer, but he'd already had started another problem.
Right.
So it was hard.
It's almost you have to take notes.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to hold on to where was I a month ago?
Right.
Because you were still waiting for the answer of something,
Mm-hmm.
and it may not have even been in the second issue. It was in the third issue.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see the frustration level of I don't even understand what's going on, and what the hell am I reading? I don't know. Right. But if you do sit and read it as a hardcover book, because I don't think it came out as a softcover book, or maybe in the absolute Batman,
or even if you just have the full run of comics, just read them, on top of each other.
Because what I did was I sat and went to the beach and read it, and then I was like, I loved it.
Right.
And believe me, I hate everything my dad does. So for me to love it was amazing.
Right, and there were connections that Dad made in the book, which at least Chris brought up, that if you're not paying attention, you miss.
Yeah, exactly. So it is an interesting read. You just have to open up your head a little bit for it and sit and read it more like a book than you would read it like a comic book.
I mean, Dad loved to listen to the old Sherlock Holmes radio plays, so you got to put your Sherlock Holmes brain on in order to work with that.
Right. There's a part of Batman Odyssey which I don't know where the pages are, but I did ask if I could have one of the pages where Batman is jumping off the train that's derailing. There's an explosion. It's derailing.
Yeah, another page.
And then you see him balled up in the sand or dirt, and basically he stands up and he had protected this older lady.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so cool. He kind of rolled like a ball and protected this older lady who he then unravels himself, and she's balled up underneath him, but she's fine.
Yeah.
And it's how cool. Nobody's ever been, Batman's just always punching people. He's never really protecting people. And here he is protecting one of those really cute Neal Adams pink-cheeked old ladies with the white hair.
It's definitely a granny, somebody sweet little granny that bakes cookies.
And the piece, that is really the page I would want the most out of Batman Odyssey. Yet it's a throwaway page.
Yeah.
It is on the value of heritage. It is not a page that will be the mega page. It is a dumb page, but in that dumb page is this cute little scenario that really has not much to do with the story, but it's just wow, Batman protected that little old lady. How cool is that? We never do that. So anyway, back to the page that is for sale here. This is $15,000 to buy. Neal did not sign these, but obviously I can do a certificate of authenticity that will go along with this. For sure, and it has been printed with Neal's name on it everywhere. So,
and this is Batman uncoupling the train cars with a great deal of effort. All that sweat dripping out the bottom panel.
Right. So $15,000 is the price. It is book number 2 or issue number 2, page 12. So. And like I said, it has a lot of nice Batman work on it, and usually if there's a lot of Batman on the page, it makes it more worth its price. At least that's what I hear. I'm going to do another published page. I would say this is more old school Batman for those guys who I hate when Neal draws eyes on Batman. Here's one where Neal does not draw eyes on Batman. It does have the clear-eyed Batman. This was from, I think it was Detective 1000, am I right? Yeah, Detective 1000, the Heretic story. This is a double-page spread from that story. It's got a fantastic Batman here. This is pencil and ink Neal again. The price on this is $9,000. $9,000. The snow building behind Batman is fantastic. Batman is fantastic on this page.
And this is actually an incredible price for this because you're getting the equivalent of 2 pages of Neal Adams artwork,
Right.
published artwork, for $4,500 each.
Right.
Together makes $9,000.
Right.
That is unheard of for Neal Adams originals.
Unless Heritage has lost their mind lately, I don't know. So again, nice page from Detective 1000, or spread I should say. $9,000 is the price on this. It is published work. With a really nice pose of Batman. Let's see what else I got here. I'm gonna do this over here. I am going to do Hulk. So Hulk is still with me. He has not left me. This is a really nice finished pencil render by Neal. It is the last one that I have of Hulk. And Hulk is bending a girder. The price on this is $3,000. We've had this for a long time. Neal was around pushing this with us. And $3,000 is the asking price on this. It can go on a payment plan. Nice piece. Take my piece in my show tonight.
Those little pitties.
Right. So 11 by 14 is Hulk. Pencil work on his legs. Look at his shorts. You can feel the folds of his shorts. Feel his knuckles and his fists. Fantastic piece. $3,000 to buy.
Another thing that Dad was so great at was motion in a still. Because it always looked like you took a screen grab from a film.
Right.
You know, it was never posed. Like a lot of artists draw posed poses. Whereas Dad's figures were always in the middle of an action and you felt the motion of everything that he drew.
Right. Some artists will pick the
Hello,
First-
Christy Bunker.
first pose of action. Some people will pick the last pose of action. Dad had a tendency to pick middle poses of action. So, okay, so we have Hulk. So I just want to go on the back wall, let Zia do the back wall for a minute, because those are the pieces that a lot of people ask about.
Oh, I got a hello from San Diego Comic-Con from Krusty Bunker. That must be Nick.
Yes. So basically, Joker. That's what I want to do. I want to talk about Joker, which is kind of behind me anyway.
All right, give me a second because I got 2 cameras to adjust to that.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So the reason why I'm bringing up Joker, I have 3 Jokers. I actually have 2 Jokers on the wall behind me. That Joker that you're seeing there for $700 is my favorite Joker because it has the black circle around him. If you look at Neal's page, whether you're on Instagram or you're on Facebook, Zia just colored a Joker for another client who bought a lot of stuff. And he chose to do I want to keep my black and white pristine. Can you color on a print? And that person was Tommy, who bought a ton of stuff that you guys were like, oh, Tommy's going to buy everything. That color on that Joker is amazing, as you did. We still have 3 to 4 Jokers left. Some are at $700 prices, some are at $600 prices. Whoa, that was not good. Yeah, I have 3 at 600. The one I like is at 700. And those can be colored. They can be colored separately. Yes, we charge for that coloring. But Zia did a really great job on one that's going out to Tommy right now. Actually, is leaving tomorrow, I think. Yeah, it's here. So it's leaving tomorrow. But we have that up as an example of coloring on Joker.
Can you push the bottom of Silver Surfer backwards so he's not angled upward so much? Yeah, oh, gorgeous. Thank you. Sorry, that was a weird noise that emanated from me. But
we have 1 Silver Surfer left. Probably what I'm going to do is on Friday. We did an early show last Friday. Z and I may do an early show this coming Friday. Meaning that because a lot of people have half-day Fridays. And then everyone will tell me, well, what are you talking about half-day Fridays? Nobody has half-day Fridays. Some people even get Fridays off every other week. So Z and I decided to do an early show and just put it up on the internet for people to see over the weekend. So I think what I'm primarily going to do during that show is this art, or some of our CGC art, which is above there, and prints, because we didn't do prints tonight at all, actually. We just
did that.
Art. And we do have some cool prints left. There's a couple of different ones left with Neal's signatures. So I think we're going to do that on Friday. And I wanted to say that we did sell the the Man-Bat remark that was on the Batman Man-Bat facsimile edition. I still do have the Batman heads that are drawn by Neal and colored by Neal on that. But we're probably going to take down this wall and do Friday about this wall. And we'll just go through it quickly. And then we'll do some prints, and then that'll go up. So basically, for those people who now, because it seems to be this new, I want to buy stuff after the show, which is no problem.
Yep.
Just direct message us if you feel like there's something you saw tonight. And I always say, if it bothered you through the night, and now I must have it and buy it, then you can always direct message us. We do pull the pieces when you direct message. We'll invoice you usually the next day. And we work with you guys. So, and I did pick my last piece for our show tonight, Z. Because I was feeling this tonight.
I'm answering your question.
Okay. Answering the question.
It's a YouTube question.
Yeah. Okay, so this is 11 by 14. This is a biggie piece of art.
Bing!
I want to say this is a piece of art that Neal Adams decided to do. We did not ask for this character. Neal just decided one weekend, I'm feeling Bane, man.
I'm feeling like a big hairy beast.
Yep. So he drew this Bane, and again, we've had this Bane piece for a long time. This is pen and ink Neal. Color on this is Neal. That white paintwork around the hair of Bane is amazing. It just makes the hair. I was going to say the hair on my legs, but I have no hair on my legs. The hair on my legs stands out.
We've all seen that guy on the beach that's got this body hair.
Right, exactly. So Bane is 1800.
I don't know.
My price tag back here is 1800.
Okay.
Is 1800 to buy. He's 11 by 14, and he's a beast that Neal drew, colored. The whole piece is Neal Adams 100%. And again, it was just something he decided one weekend to do. Came in on Monday and said, here's a Bane. And we were like, what? Why'd you draw Bane? He's like, oh, I felt like that. So.
And just because we're getting commentary from some YouTubers, since we do not have direct message on YouTube, if you would like any further information on anything, or if there's any kind of artwork that you're looking for, you can go to our website, which I have just put up on the screen, which is www.nealadamsstore.com. We do have a contact us button there that you can email us with any questions or any interest in anything that you may have there.
There you go. Okay, so I think Z and I are going to say goodnight. Again, you can always direct message us if there's something that you want. Friday, we're going to do an early show. We did it like at 3 o'clock, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
So probably around 3 o'clock on Friday, if you guys are around and you want to come in. And my understanding is Friday the Olympics start. So I'm not going to get in the way of the Olympics here. So we'll just do a show. It'll be posted up. You guys can direct message us. It'll be a little different. Even the style of it is going to be a little bit different. And we're going to go through mostly headshots, CGCs, and prints. So if you're not into the original art, or you're looking for something different like a CGC or a sketch cover or something like that, we're going to cover that on Friday.
Bane was 1800.
Yes, Bane is 18 here. Sorry.
That's okay. It's for the Instagrammers. I don't have the thing that comes up on them.
Here, I'll even put it
next to his noggin. Okay, and again, if there were any pieces that you saw, you want to go back and rewatch this later, take a screen grab, send us a message saying, hey, I would like to claim this piece. That's the easiest way, because, if you say, hey, I want to claim that Batman, we have a lot of Batmans. So it helps to be a little bit more specific as to what you're looking for, what you're interested in. If you are interested in a character that maybe we didn't have up, that we might have in the drawer somewhere, you're perfectly welcome to text us, direct message us, email us, and we will do our best to serve you.
And like I said, sometimes some pieces get lost. Like our Dead Man was lost, and it's because somebody's trading us a Dead Man piece that brought up like, see, did we ever sell the Dead Man piece we have? And then I had to look for it today, and that's how I found it, stuck in a folder of one of the NHL pieces we did. So sometimes it actually does help when you guys spot a character that we haven't had, because sometimes stuff goes places. Okay, Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
I only have one Moon Knight that Neal drew, and that's the one where he makes fun of Bill Sienkiewicz. Because
we still have that one?
Yeah, I still have that one.
Oh.
So I don't know if we're ever going to let that go. Because that's
an inside tip of the hat.
Exactly.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink kind of thing.
Exactly. So I think that is the only Moon Knight Neal has done. I don't even think we did a Moon Knight as a profile.
We may have. Send us a direct message and we'll see. Food for thought, Voodoo Jason Statham. Yes, but which movie Jason Statham? I do love Jason Statham.
Oh, I love him too.
I will watch The Meg like 100 times. It's not a great movie, and the second one was bad. I did not like the second one because they actually tried on the second one, and it was just like, no, you should have just gone with the run with it theory of the first one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, pick me a version of Jason Statham. I'll knock him out for you.
All right. So Chris and Z are going to go. And everybody have a great week. Maybe you'll come on with us on Friday. I think we'll be on at 3. And but we'll let you know through Facebook and Instagram and everything. And everybody have a great weekend. If I don't see you or hear from you. And everybody be careful. Don't get eaten by a shark.
Yep.
And those who are going to San Diego, have a great weekend in San Diego. We all wish we could go.
Yeah, if you see anything really cool, send us pictures.
Exactly. All right, guys, take care. Thank you for a great night. And remember, Chris is going to buy that piece of art.
Lieutenant Blueberry.
Lieutenant Blueberry. So anybody
So,
who wants it,
Monday
now's the time.
morning is your deadline,
That's
Eastern
right.
Standard Time.
Exactly. Okay, I'm going to go. Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.